said he moved down to the point. Okay. I don't think he's scoring quite as much. They got great, they're just like Central Americans, got great balanced scores. I forgot to tell those people, I always want to tell them to email, I forgot to tell them, I always want to email the boss. Yeah. Email the boss. Yeah, don't enjoy it. All right, we better get.
All right, Chancellor, go get him, buddy.
You have reached the Stretch Internet Broadcast Studio. Please enter your 4-digit code now. Your code has been accepted. Your broadcast will begin in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium on the campus of Missouri Valley College. Game 2 this afternoon of the Heart of America Conference between the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers, 5-1 in the league, 13-5 overall, and the Missouri Valley Vikings, coached by Chad Lance, 1-4 in the league, a big win Thursday night in Fayette against CMU, and 6-11 overall. Rocky Lamar coaches Mid-America. He's been the head coach since 1986, 626 wins. I thought I've seen a lot of basketball. He's won a lot of basketball games.
He's veteran coach. He picked up his 600th win against us, I think, this corresponding weekend up in Olathe last year, and they've won 13 games already this year. They just do it year after year.
And the reigning player of the year in the conference, Rustin Dowd, the 5'11 senior out of Olathe, will lead this team, but he's not the only one. Connor Langer and others. Luke Thomas, boy, this is a good ball club. They have some national tournament experience. Good team.
Well, Dowd very capable of putting 25 points on the board, but I think they've moved him to point guard with Cyree going down, I believe, with an injury. They moved Dowd to the point guard, and so I don't think maybe not shooting the ball quite as much, more in charge with the ball handling.
We had a chance to visit with both coaches.
Okay, chatting now with Mid-America men's coach Rocky Lamar. And Coach, I think it was a year ago this weekend we were up at your place. You got your 600th career win that day. Glad to be a part of it, but not really glad to be a part of a loss. But you keep it going. I think you've got 13 wins again so far this year, and you're one of the leaders in the conference race.
Yeah, I tell you what, when we play hard and we get after it, we're pretty good. But sometimes this group, getting them to play hard all the time is really difficult. They think it all just comes easy. Anything comes easy, you forget it anyway. So hopefully they'll learn to play hard all the time.
You know, Jeff Sherman of Central Methodist said the other night he thought this might be the most balanced conference race we've had on the men's side for a long time.
I think we're pretty good top to bottom. Great example, Valley coming out and just taking care of them at Central Methodist. That's a big win for them. And we have had 2 overtime games and the game decided by 3, so it's been very, very interesting.
You got a lot of familiar names, too. I remember Rustin Dowd, Connor Langer. Seems like they always seem to play pretty well against us.
Well, I hope they do tonight. Connor was in the doghouse. In fact, he wasn't going to start on Thursday, and we had a kid show up late for practice, so he got to start. And he goes out and scores 13. I think I scores our first 13, so he got back in the good graces real quickly. But anyway, and Rustin, we've had to move him to the point. We don't have Nick Sarai. We lost our point guard. Now I think it would be totally different if we had our point guard. We'd be really, really good. But right now we're just trying to piece things together around it and see how that goes.
What are the keys for your team today?
Well, we got to run. When we don't run, we're not very good, and we've got to contest every jump shot taken by the Vikings because they shoot it so well. So if we don't contest, they're going to have their way with us. And we haven't been great at defending the 3, and they got a bunch of 3-point shooters. So hopefully we'll work at contesting that.
Chad Lance joins us for this game. Coach, let's go back to Thursday for a moment. What a great effort over in Fayette.
Yeah, great effort. We executed on both sides of the ball, both defensively and offensively, and I thought our defensive energy is what propelled us to the win.
Boy, I tell you, that's a tough place to play, no question about it.
It is. I talked to Coach Pfeiffer, our athletic director, and we talked about, the times that we have won there, and I think in my career, I think I've won there maybe 3, possibly 4 times. And, you know, it's obviously a tough place to play. Central always shoots the ball so well. So it took a lot for us to be able to get over there and get a win.
What I was impressed with, here you are, you've struggled in some games coming down the stretch. Your team made the big plays down the stretch, and that was so important.
Yeah, we did, you know. We got a little flat there, and they made a run, and we never let it get closer than 2, and we was able to regroup and, you know, just have good focus.
Now, we take on MidAm. My goodness, I looked at this roster the other day as the same on the women's side. I thought, this is last year's roster. It looks like the same group. It is the same group.
Yeah, this is the 4th year these guys have been together, so national tournament experience, tons of minutes, a lot of points scored, a lot of victories. So, you know, we have to come out here and play very good basketball.
Dowd, you have to start with him, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's been All-American since he was a freshman. In my time in the league, he's one of the best guards that I've seen, and he does a lot of different things. And I think that he's just gotten better over the years and has expanded his game.
Well, do they just like to run up and down that court?
They do. You know, Coach Lamar does a good job of getting those guys to play in transition, and we've watched a lot of game film on them. And even teams that like to run, I think they do a better job of running than most teams because it's just constant running. There's no chance that you can fall asleep. But, you know, they've got a lot of guys out there. Langard is a great shooter, and, you know, Weegard's coming off the bench, but he's a force inside. And then you look at people like Thomas and French that are great inside players.
And, you know, your team will take the break if it's there, but you got to be careful not to get into this thing with them, don't you?
Well, that's what I told our guys. It says, you know, they run and we run ball screens. We can't expect them to run ball screens as well as we do, and we definitely can't expect to run as well as they do.
Coach, good luck. Let's get 2 in a row. We'll talk to you after the game.
All right, thank you.
All right, so there you've heard from the coaches. Here are the starting lineups. First of all, from Mid-America, Rustin Dowd, the reigning player of the year in the conference. And he, of course, is from Olathe. Boy, he is a good one. Where's number 32? Jacob French out of Overland Park, a 6'6 senior in the starting lineup, as is Luke Thomas, Raymore, Missouri, a 6'8 junior. Connor Langer, we talk about him a lot. He is a junior out of Gardner, Kansas, 6'5", and David Clark in the starting lineup with Sarai out. Clark out of San Antonio, Texas, a 6'5 junior. Vikings go with Jordan Epps, the conference leading scorer, 18.9. He's out of Nixa. Michael Connor out of Fort Worth, Texas, a 6'1 senior. Kevin Stander, 5'10 sophomore, in the starting line. I didn't see, Joe, if James Pope, I believe it'll be Pope and Law Brown as well.
Yeah, James is starting.
Pope out of St. Petersburg, Florida, 6'4 senior. Law Brown, the 6'8 junior. Had, I think, his best overall game as a Viking on Thursday night at CMU. He's out of Chicago, 6'8 junior.
Oh, Lawrence played a great game. He didn't miss many shots. He got a lot of rebounds. He blocked several shots in there and really, I thought, really did a great job. And really, we need him to play big inside like that.
Well, he's going to have to today. This is a talented team. You think the women are good? This men's team, they're just as good as the women on the other side. 5-1 national tournament experience. They're a heck of a ball club. They're in their dark blue uniforms with the white numerals trimmed in red, and Joe All has the first down.
Well, let's see if Vikings can keep it going. A nice 81-70 win on the road over Central Methodist on Thursday night. The Eagles, one of the leaders in the conference, only their second conference loss, and the Vikings got them, so Vikes get the tip. We're underway here. Before we get going, I want to say hello to Eileen Stapp. She's the mother of Jordan Stapp and lost her sister. And certainly feel badly about that. Our prayers are with you and your family. And we saw Jordan's dad and sister up top before the game, and we said we'd say hi to Eileen. So Vikes get the tip. They miss a shot, but here comes Central Methodist down the floor, and David Clark.
MidAm. You still have Central Methodist on your brain.
Yeah, Jimmy Christmas. Here we go. I want to remember that game the other night as long as I can. MidAm, Mid-America, and David Clark draws the foul. That foul comes up on James Pope, and we're underway here.
Well, let's don't have the same thing we had in the women's game with 56
fouls.
56 fouls. 74 free throws.
David Clark knocks down the first free throw. He is a junior out of San Antonio, Texas, left-hander. Second shot in the air, got them both. So just like that, Mid-America off to a 2-0 lead. One of the leaders in the conference. They come in at 13-5. Overall, only one loss in conference play thus far. Jordan Epps, right wing, James Pope for the Vikings. Pope goes baseline, gives back to Law Brown. Lawrence drives inside, up off the glass, got it. So Lawrence Brown, who had his best game of the year the other night, takes up where he left off. Nice runner in the lane, and now I think Michael Connor is going to be whistled for a foul. as he bumps into Rustin Dowd, bringing the ball down the court. That'll be Connor's first. That's 2 quick fouls on the Vikings here. We played less than a minute.
Well, they want to run. And when you have a point guard, you have a guard like Dowd, again, he's playing the point with Sarai out of there. You can get up down the floor in a hurry. We better be ready to go.
Right wing, Thomas. Now back it comes to Dowd deep in the left wing. Head of the key to Connor Longrair. His three in the air off the left side, no good. Nice rebound, Jordan Epps, the conference's leading scorer, goes up and rips that one away.
Langer had a good-looking shot, and you missed his first one.
Tied at 2. James Pope thinks about a three. Gives outside to Epps. Epps comes around a screen. Now has it knocked out of bounds. I think they're saying Clark knocked it out of bounds. So Vikes will retain possession. We played just a little over a minute. 1 bucket apiece here to start this game. Mid-America Nazarene and Missouri Valley. The Vikings a huge win on Thursday night again over Central Methodist. Mid-America comes in a 3-way tie at the top of the conference. Evangel, Mid-America, and Culver Stockton all 5-1. Now Kevin Stander drives inside, misses a reverse layup. Rebound Thomas ahead to Langer. Langer gets it down inside, shot up and in, and a nice entry pass. That ball laid in by Jacob French. French averaging 12.3 points a game. He gets the layup, and foul comes up on Michael Connor. That'll be Michael's second foul. Third team foul on the Vikings, and the basket by French gives the Pioneers a 2-point lead, a chance to extend it with a free throw.
Well, you saw what happened. Stander, that reverse layup, missed it, and it didn't take them any time to get down court and get that layup.
French, the left-hander, misses a free throw, and Stander, the little guy, skies to get the rebound for the Vikings. Head now to James Pope. David Smith not in the lineup, one of the regular Viking starters, out with a knee injury, not playing tonight. Lawrence Brown inside. Mr. Offense. Lawrence Brown 2 for 2. Ties the game at 4. There's a steal by Stander at midcourt. Drives inside. He's fouled by Rustin Dowd.
He took it away from Dowd. Boy, that's a big play by the young sophomore, and now he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Well, you know, and Kevin Stander, we've said this many times, he's not going to back down from anybody. He'll go toe-to-toe with the best of the best, and he did right there with Rustin Dowd and draws the 2-shot foul. So Vikings a chance to take a lead here. Shot in the air, got it. So Stander knocks down the first free throw. The Vikings 5 points, 2 buckets by Lawrence Brown, and that free throw by Stander, a chance to make it a 2-point lead with another one. Got them both.
And let's keep going into Law Brown. He's hot. He's been hot the last couple of games. Keep feeding the big guy.
Pressure by the Vikes in the backcourt. Mid-America takes the time. They get it across the timeline to Dowd. Down in the corner it comes to Luke Thomas, the leading scorer on the team. There's a long three by Dowd. This one misses. Offensive rebound inside by French. His shot misses, and Law Brown rips down the defensive board for the Vikings. Vikes up by 2. Early going here as Epps almost loses it. Now gets it back out to Pope. Vikes will reset the offense. They can get it right wing. Vikes on a 4-0 run here. Right wing, Jim Thomas, who gets a start tonight with David Smith out of the line. Or I guess he came in for Michael Connor, didn't he? Yep. Michael has 2 fouls. There's a 3 by Epps. This one comes up short off the front of the rim. Rebound Dowd for Mid-America. Ahead to Thomas, into the lane. Nice pass into Langer. A good ball movement that time by MidAm as Luke Thomas finds Connor Langrehr breaking to the bucket. He lays it in. We're tied at 6. Chad Lance wants a timeout.
And Kendall Hayes will check in. We saw he had 10 points in his first game as a Viking the other night, but I know what Chad's talking about. You had better get down because Dowd took that ball. He got it to Thomas. Thomas at 6'8", then took off down court. Langer went baseline, and it was just bam, bam, bam layup. And you have better turn and sprint back defensively against this
Yeah, and you look at this team, very balanced scoring. You've got Luke Thomas as their leader at 14.5. Rustin Dowd, the normal leader in the past, at 14.3. And then you've got 12.3 for both Jacob French and Connor Langer. So you got 4 guys right around that 12 to 14-point mark. So they move the ball around very well, this team does. It'll be Viking ball inbounds. We're tied at 6.
Full court pressure.
Now nice pass. Stander gets it across midcourt to Jim Thomas. Thomas brings it into the forecourt. Deep on the baseline to Epps. Now inside to Kendall Hayes. Hayes misses, but Lawrence Brown there on the offensive glass. And Law Brown gets his 3rd bucket of the game. He's on fire tonight.
Hey, he says, this scoring's fun. I'm going to keep scoring.
I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep shooting.
That's right.
Now left wing, it comes to Langer, guarded by Kevin Stander. Now nice backdoor cut, Dowd. Oh, what a cut that time is. Dowd cut backdoor, took the pass from Jacob French, and was that a move or what?
He's good. He's the player of the year, and there's a reason why.
That was a very quick first step on that backdoor cut. Now Stander spins inside, up off the glass, and good job. Kevin Stander once again goes hard to the glass, draws a foul, and I think that's going to come up on Langer, and that will be his first foul. That's the second team foul on MidAm. The Vikes have 3.
Good job by Kevin, back to the line.
Kevin knocked down 2 just a minute ago, a chance to once again give the Vikings a lead here. First shot, good. Kevin off to a good start. He's 3 for 3 from the stripe. He'll have one more.
And let's see, Brandon Newton checks in. Justin Collard, 6'4" senior, comes into the game for the first time for the Pioneers.
Stander with one more here, looking for the 2-point lead, gets it. So Kevin, a perfect 4 out of 4. It's a 10-8 lead for the Vikings. 16:36 left to go in the half. Now Collard gets it across to David Clark. Back outside, Justin Collard, left-hand dribble, hands back to Rustin Dowd. He'll set the offense at the head of the key. Right wing over to Clark. Now they lob it down inside for Newton. Ball knocked away, now taken away by Stander. Kevin Stander off to a good start here tonight.
Kevin says, I'm 5'10", but I'll go up and get that. And he went up and snatched that pass intended for the low block, and here come the Vikings.
Head of the key now to Thomas. Gives it to Stander. Now into Law Brown. Law wants to take another shot, and he hits another shot. 4 for 4 for Lawrence Brown. Vikings up by 4. Now a pass inside to Newton, basket in 1. So a nice cut that time by Brandon Newton, and they found him under the bucket. He's got the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play right here.
But again, you see what the Pioneers like to do. That was a great move, little jump hook by Brown. The Vikings heading up court, they just turned and raced up court and got another layup.
Yeah, they change into the court very quickly. I wonder if their men and women scrimmage together. They both do a pretty good job of that.
Good.
So Newton knocks down the free throw, completes the 3-point play. The Viking lead is down to 1 with 15:46 left here in the first half. Now Epps, left-hand dribble into the paint, throws up the runner and knocks it down. There's Jordan Epps' first bucket of the game. A little runner in the lane. Lead back up to 3 as here comes MidAm again.
And he is a true freshman, Mr. Epps is, and he's a good one. He is going to be a good one the next 4 years.
Right wing now Collard for MidAm. Gets it deep to Newton. Newton backs in on Stander. Wants to go to the top, and they're going to say he walks. So, again, Kevin Stander giving away a lot of height, but he was not going to budge one step on that baseline, and Brandon Newton called for the traveling violation.
Well, a good idea, get Newton to post up. Stander's only 5'10", but Stander with those quick hands knocked it away, and then Newton picked it up and walked with it.
Yeah, good defensive play by Kevin Stander out of Republic, Missouri. There's a jumper by Kendall Hayes, misses. Rebound Newton ahead to Dowd. Here comes Mid-America the other way. Right wing to David Clark. Inside now to Newton, up and in. So good transition once again by MidAm as they cut the Viking lead to 1 with just under 15 minutes to go in the half.
Well, that's so effective because, number one, Newton's hard to stop.
There's a 3 by Stander. Danced on the rim, missed. Rebound underneath. And they're going to call traveling on Lionel Deliska. Lionel in the lineup, got a nice offensive rebound, but they said he shuffled his feet trying to go for the putback, and so Vikes turn it over, up by 1.
Jason Garrettson in, and Rustin Dowd is going to take a seat.
Pressure by the Vikings. Mid-America breaks it. Now they get it outside to Collard. Collard hands it to Justin Garrettson at the head of the key. Garrettson back to Collard, guarded by Standard. Both of them wearing number 12 on the back. Newton back to Garrettson. Head of the key to Clark. Clark thinks about a 3, comes around a screen. Now stop and go dribble. Good defense by Lionel Deliska that time. Vikes been working on that defense. That really paid off that at Central Methodist the other night. Now they get it into Newton, and he travels again. That time Newton loses his balance as they hit him in the lane, tried to back in, lost his footing, went down, turnover back to the Vikings.
Well, he tried to split a double team, go sideways, and just kind of got his feet tangled, went to the floor, and the officials let it go, ruled it was a travel.
Looks like another Viking cheering squad. We've got the regular cheerleaders to our right down on the, I guess that's the, I'm trying to think, that's the north end of the gym. Now the south end, is that the dance team?
Part of the dance team.
They've got pom-pom, looks like pom-poms down there, so they're going to, I guess they're going to cheer a little bit.
Part of the
dance team. Good to see.
Here at
Good to
Valley.
see. Got Epps brings it across. Jordan hands out to Kevin Stander. Stander backs it out between the circles. Back to Epps. Ball fake. Kick it deep in the right wing to Thomas. Now they get it low block to DeLiska. DeLiska spins inside. They're going to say he walked again. So Lionel DeLiska
going a little too quick.
Trying to pivot inside. Did that reverse pivot to the right side and move both feet. So Vikes still lead by 1.
I think if he would have taken it up when he first wanted to, he tried to get a little better position and traveled with it.
Likes that soft press again. And then Mid-America throws it out of bounds as Jacob French. I'm not sure. You remember big Frank Howard used to be the first baseman for the, I'm not sure 6'8" Frank Howard could have caught that
Kareem
ball.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar might not have brought that
Lucas
one down.
Weigel was the man he tried to throw to. Weigel's a big guy, 6'7", but that pass was a good 7 feet.
And they don't
over
list
his head.
Lucas's weight, but he's solid. He's just a big raw-boned guy, and he hails, I think he hails from Gießen, Gießen, Germany, it says in the program.
Good ball player.
Yeah, big physical guy. He and Lawrence Brown are going to match up in there. That should be a good battle. Now Epps, right wing to Thomas. Thomas comes around a James Pope screen. Head of the key, Law Brown. Law's got 8 already. Gives it back outside to Epps. Epps comes around. Collard pulls up for a J. Got it. That ball hung on the rim and dropped, and that's what happens when you have a nice shooting touch, and Jordan Epps certainly does. He's got 4 points. Vikings lead by 3, 13:24 left in the half.
Some players have to be set to shoot. He's one of those create his own shot. He's the same. Dowd's the same way. They can create their own shots.
They can. A Collard left-hand dribble inside, throws up a runner. Nice move that time with Justin Collard. That's his first bucket. That was a sweet move that time, and he's a senior out of Paris, Texas. Epps now, forecourt for the Vikings. Now tells Kendall Hayes, go the other way. I want to clear the floor out. Epps hounded out there by Collard. Left-hand dribble, hands back to Law Brown. Law, get inside there where you can score. There we go. Now hands it back out to Thomas. Thomas gives to Pope. Good ball movement by the Vikings. Thomas spins to the baseline, down to 9 on the shot clock. Kendall Hayes gets it into Brown. Lawrence spins off the glass. This one misses.
I think they're call Pope with a foul.
Call a foul on James Pope, and a very rare occurrence for only maybe the second or third time in the last 2 games Lawrence Brown misses the shot.
But I like the shot. He worked hard. It was a good look. Got it off the glass. Keep working in there.
That's 2 fouls on James Pope. He'll take a seat as Lionel DeLiska comes back in the lineup. Pressure again by the Vikes. Garrettson, nice pass inside to Weigel. Had it blocked. And they're going to say a jump ball. Good call. I'm not sure if that was Lawrence Brown or was that Lionel DeLiska, but somebody tied up Lucas Weigel that time. And jump ball. Nice defense by the Vikings.
Langer will inbound, but once again, they just got down that court in a hurry.
Now Mid-America down by a point. They reset the offense. Jason Garrettson outside. Guarded by Jim Thomas. Dribbles to the right side. Now comes back to the middle with a left-hand dribble. Good crowd on in. A lot of students over there making quite a bit of noise for the Vikings. That's good to see. Now deep on the wing to Langer. Langer guarded by Hayes. Back now to Garrettson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Garrettson drives in. Nice shot as Garrettson puts it up with the left hand off the glass, and Mid-America regains the lead by a point.
He's out of Gilbert, Arizona. I imagine he enjoys this nice cold weather.
I would imagine. Now they're going to call a foul on one of the Mid-America players. That's going to be, I think it's going to come up on
Weigel?
Yeah, Lucas Weigel. Yeah, Lucas Weigel. That's his first foul. That's the third team foul on Mid-America. The Vikings have 5.
And checking in for Valley, Kevin Stander. Kendall Hayes is out.
So Jim Thomas will inbound right in front of Coach Rocky Lamar. They're standing there side by side. Gets it into Stander. Now gets a return pass from Kevin. Thomas, head of the key, Brown. Law gives it to Stander. Try to reverse it now. Now instead, Stander comes around with a left-hand dribble around the screen, spins inside, throws it up, and they're going to call him for a travel. I didn't see any foot movement at all on that.
He just spun. He spun and took one step. Yeah. I don't think, a lot of officials call that a travel. I don't think I would.
I didn't think that was either.
No.
Pressure now by the Vikings. Kind of that soft press as Collard walks it across for MidAm. Left-hand dribble. Tries to go around Stander, but Kevin cuts him off. Now gets it back to Newton. Collard hands now Rustin Dowd back in the lineup. Sets the offense head of the key. Now here's Longer, stop and go dribble into the lane. Nice move that time by Connor Longer. Misses the shot though, and DeLiska high to get the bound for the Vikings.
1-point game. 11 minutes to go.
Epps walks across the timeline, goes right around Collar. Nice dish inside. Lawrence Brown misses, gets a follow and puts it in. So Lawrence missed the first shot with the left hand, got the rebound, put it in. Kenny's got 10 points.
10 points already. The other way, here they come again. I believe that was
long. That's Longer.
Longer?
Longer, I think, drives inside and lays that one in. So Connor Longer gets his 5th point of the game, and it's a 1-point MidAm lead with nearing the first half point of the first half. Now a nice drive inside. How did Jordan Epps get that ball away inside? Now a steal by the Vikings.
Standard takes it away from Dowd.
Epps gets the bucket. Standard the steal. Kevin drives inside. I think they're going to foul. Got a foul on Newton, I believe, as Kevin went very hard with the left hand. And so nice hustle by Standard.
Epps went right down through 2 big guys and just kind of a nice little head and shoulder fake and just flipped it up underneath one of the outstretched arms off the glass.
That foul's going to come up on Brandon Newton. That'll be his first. That's team foul number 4 on Mid-America. Now Lawrence Brown pulls up for the jumper. This one off the right side, and there to get the rebound, Luke Thomas. Luke rips it down for MidAm. Thomas, the leading scorer on this team, but not by much. 0.2 of a point over Rustin Dowd. Now head of the key to Dowd. Dowd hands it to Thomas. Back to Jacob French. Looks like MidAm's got their starting lineup back on the floor. Now they're saying it was knocked out. I think Lawrence Brown kicked it out of bounds. So MidAm will retain possession as Nick Diata out of Senegal, Africa, gets set to check in for the Vikings for the first time. Lawrence Brown, who has 10 points, will lead. Vikings lead at 20-19. 10 minutes left here in the first half. There's a steal by Epps. Jordan the other way, got it. So once again, nice defense by the Vikings. Epps has 8, Brown has 10, and the Vikings lead by 3.
And the other 4 to Kevin Standard. So only 3 players have scored, but the Vikes up by 3.
Now ahead to Thomas. Good pressure. Brody Thompson in the Viking lineup. Head of the key to Dowd. Dowd to David Clark. Back to Dowd between the circles. Guarded by Epps. Now Dowd stop and go dribble. Gives it on the right wing. Clark spins into the lane. I thought maybe he walked. No call. Battle for the loose ball. Nick Diata keeps it alive. Brody Thompson comes away with it. Now Stander pulls up for a 3 and got it. Kevin Stander knocks down a deep 3, and Coach Rocky Lamar wants a timeout. And Vikings are pumped up here. They lead at 25-19. 9:23 left.
Man, I'm telling you what, Epps is a freshman. Stander's a sophomore. Brown a junior. Now they've had some other help tonight, but those 3 guys are really playing well, and a good timeout by Rocky Lamar as these 2 guards for the Vikings, Epps and Standard, playing right with anybody that Mid-America has.
We talk about Rustin Dowd being so quick, but tonight Jordan Epps and Kevin Standard have matched, maybe even exceeded his quickness so far. I mean, I know Dowd's a great player, but boy, those 2 guys are hustling all over the floor and really playing hard, playing well. And Vikings, I think 3 or 4 steals already in the games. They've done very well.
You watch good players. Dowd's one of them. Epps is one. Standard, and then we can name some more. But you can tell when a young man spends a lot of time in the gym, because the 3 that I mentioned make moves and take shots and make shots that you don't just learn in practice. That's just playing basketball.
Oh, it really is. A lot of guys can shoot if they're open. Those guys can shoot on the dead run.
Oh.
Now here comes MidAm as Dowd dribbles inside, back outside to Langer. Langer hands down low to Thomas. Now Dowd launches a 3. This lips out. No good. Rebound, Brody Thompson. Now Brody takes his time, gets the ball across midcourt. Vikes with a 6-point lead, trying to extend it. Kendall Hayes, left-hand jumper. This one off the back of the rim, now bounces off one of the guide wires up above the basket. That'll be a violation, so ball back to MidAm.
Kendall had 10 points in his first game against CMU. He's 0 for 3 shooting the ball this afternoon.
Yeah, folks, you'll enjoy watching him play. He's an exciting, slashing player. He's going to really help this Viking team out, we expect. Now Dowd sets the offense for MidAm. They trail by 6. Head of the key, it comes to French. French lobs inside for Thomas. Knocked away by Brody Thompson. Stolen by Kevin Stander. Good defense once again by this Valley team.
Good balance by Kevin on that baseline to keep his balance. I would have fallen over and out of bounds, but that young man had very good balance.
Now Epps, left-hand dribble, comes around to Diata screen. Deep right wing to Hayes. His jumper in the air. This one misses. Rebound Thomas. Here comes MidAm on the run. Vikings by 6. There's a long three by Lonker. This one off the front of the rim, but an offensive rebound by French up and in. So Jacob French, good job of crashing the offensive boards. The left-hander puts it back in. Viking lead down to 4. We're under 8 minutes to go here in the half. Now Thompson gives it high key to Epps. Epps hands to his running mate Stander out front. Now gives it back to Thompson. Vikes moving the ball well. Thompson around a pick. Bounce pass into the block to Kendall Hayes. Kendall can't get the handle. Bounces off of him out of bounds. It looks like he's going to come out. Lawrence Brown's going to come back in.
But Chad's still going with a pretty small lineup. He's got the 3 guards out there: Epps, Stander, and Thompson. So three small guards out there right now.
We've seen a lot of players, but I'm going to tell you what, in a game like this, at this pace, you're going to have to see a lot of players here tonight. Both teams, nobody can play the full game at this pace. Now inside, Lanker pushes off. He pushed off on the drive. No call, lays it in. So Lanker's now got 7 points, and the Viking lead down to 2.
Boy, he's smooth around that basket, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Got away with a little shove that time, I think. Now head of the key to Hayes. Hayes lobs into Lawrence Brown. Lawrence goes up strong, and somebody got a piece of that shot. Lawrence continued, wasn't going to let that bother him. He's got 12. Lead back up, and there are 3 by Longer just like that. And I'm going to say, I no more got it out. The Vikings up by 2, Longer, or by 4, and Longer answers. And now the lead's down to 1.
I'm going to watch the shot clock. I think they get that ball across midcourt in 2.5, 3 seconds maybe.
It's not long. It's not long. Now Epps, left-hand dribble, gives back to Stander. He launches a 3. Missed it. Rebound Longer.
Well, Longer playing well.
Ahead now to Dowd. Dowd trying to give Mid-America the lead. They trail by 1 right now. Vikings have been ahead most of the first half. We're down to 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the half. Deep on the left wing now to Clark. Down low, French, the left-hander up and in. I tell you, Jacob French pretty smooth around the bucket. He's had, that's his 3rd basket. He's got a quick release with that left hand.
Boy, they just flashed across the lane, got it to him. Didn't put the ball on the floor, just turned, put it off the glass. Nice
1
move.
point, Mid-America lead. Stander, 3 for the lead. This one misses. Rebound, French. Ahead to Dowd. Dowd across the timeline. Deep in the corner to Langer. Langer goes around Brody Thompson. Now goes to the floor. They're going to say he traveled. As Connor Langer tried to spin and go down the left side, down to that left baseline, lost his footing and went to the floor, so that's a violation.
Jim Thomas is in. Stander is out. Vikings taking some real quick shots, and they're taking good shots, but I think what Chad's concerned about, you don't want to get in this running game with this bunch.
No, you really don't.
You want to take a little time and use your screens and get good shots.
It's a 1 point Mid-America lead, but the Vikings have the ball. They've led most of the first half. Lawrence Brown backs in off the glass and in. Where is that offense coming from? Lawrence Brown, 14 points in the first half, and he's keeping the Vikes in this one, doing a great job. 29-28, Vikings lead it by a point.
14 for Lawrence Brown.
Now Longer down the block to French. French guarded by Thompson. And now they're going to say Lawrence Brown raises his hand. I guess they're going to maybe call the foul on him. I'm not sure.
That's his first 6-team foul on Valley.
Wow. What Lawrence had? What do you have? 14 the other night, didn't he? Let's see. I'm not sure. I've got the book here somewhere. Yeah, 14 the other night. He's got 14 already here tonight in the first half. So really upping his offensive numbers.
If we get a break or we have a timeout, we'll give you the women's scores from this afternoon.
Now Dowd inbound. Oh, nice quick pass into French, but he misses a short 5-foot jumper. Brody Thompson rakes down the rebound for the Vikes. Vikes up by 1. Thompson left-hand dribble. Tries to lob it into Kendall Hayes, tipped by one of the Pioneers out of bounds. So Vikes will retain possession. 23 on the shot clock.
Delisco comes back in. Delisco replacing Kendall Hayes.
Missouri Valley 29, Mid-America 28. 5:16 left to play in the first half. Now they get it into Delisco. Head of the key to Thompson. Down low to Brown. Lawrence off the glass. Oh, this one lips off. I thought that was going to be down too. Coach Chad Lance wanted a foul. And now Jim Thomas gets into the passing lane, disrupts the pass, and they say it's out of bounds off of Mid-America. So good hustle by Jim Thomas right there, the junior out of St. Louis.
Well, French was trying to throw that ball to Garrettson, and Thomas disrupted the play, and he threw it out. So the Vikings get it back. Good job.
Luke Thomas comes back in. Brandon Newton will take a seat for Mid-America. For the Vikings, it's Thompson, Thomas, Brown, DeLiska, and Jordan Epps on the floor right now. Now DeLiska tries to power his way in. Now loses it, but back to Thompson. Now DeLiska spins inside. This one misses. Got a nice shot. And now Brody. Nice play by Brody Thompson. And Rocky Lamar unhappy as Brody Thompson jumps right in front of Jason Garrettson. Caused him to travel. Garrettson shuffled the feet. So nice defensive play by Thompson. And again, Brody is a freshman out of Republic. He and Kevin Stander, I believe, went to the same high school.
Well, I'll tell you what, both coaches complain to the officials. Jimmy Thomas.
Jim Thomas knocks down a three. That's Jim's first bucket. And with that three, the Vikings back up by 3, 31-28. I guess they just give him a 2 on that?
Must have given him a 2.
Just give him a 2, I guess. Because they were ahead by 1 a minute ago. They got 31-28 on the board. Now there's a pull-up by Dowd. Dowd knocks down a jumper. That for Rustin Dowd, that is his only second bucket of the game on a 14.3 average. It's a 1-point Viking lead. Epps, a long three. Got it. Yeah, that was out there. That was deep in the lobby, and Jordan Epps knocked that one down. He's in double figures with 11, lead back up to 4. Like to see him shoot like that. Boy, he's got a great touch, doesn't he?
Good first half. 4 minutes to go.
Now Dowd, left wing, longer ahead of the key to French. French with a right-hand dribble back to Dowd. Dowd hounded by Jim Thomas. Throws up a runner inside, and he's fouled.
That was pretty. Just a, as you called it, down the baseline, just a little floater, very pretty. Didn't go in, but he'll shoot 2.
And it almost went in. Just kind of laid that. I mean, there's no way you can block that shot. He must have arched that ball about 13 feet.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So that's going to put Rustin Dowd on the line. That foul will come up on Jim Thomas, and that'll be his first. That's the 7th on the Vikings. Viking students across the way giving Dowd the business, but that's not going to bother him. He's a pretty seasoned veteran. As he knocks down the first free throw, he'll have one more. Theata back in. Lawrence Brown sits down.
Yeah, good crowd over there, students. Some wearing orange, purple, old Viking, vintage Viking jerseys.
Coach Lance, if you're missing some game jerseys, we know where they are, right?
I think those are from a few years ago.
I think those are a little ways back. I know, I'm just kidding. But Dowd knocks down both free throws, so the Viking lead down to 2. We're under 4 minutes, 3:47 left here in the half. Epps, guarded by Collard, gets it head of the key to Thompson. Thompson around Lanker. Inside to DeLiska. DeLiska up and in. Nice pass that time by Brody Thompson. He made that play, found a wide open Lionel DeLiska under the basket. Vikings up 36-32. Now let's see some D, guys. Head of the key now to French. French guarded out there by Theata. Hands back to Dowd. Now low block, it comes to Luke Thomas, and they're going to say, I think that DeLiska is holding Luke Thomas down low. And that's the call as DeLiska picks up his first foul. But that's going to put the Vikes over the limit, so that's going to put Luke Thomas on the line. This will be his first trip, and again, he's a leading scorer on this team, hasn't scored in the first half. Now, I say that, he'll knock down 2 free throws.
Well, let's see. DeLiska will check out. Well, Kendall Hayes checks in now.
Thomas at the line. Bends at the knee. First shot in the air. Left it short. But I think one of the Vikings in the lane a little quick, I believe.
You know, surprisingly, they shoot 52% from the field, but only 67% from the free throw line.
Is that right? That's crazy.
They don't shoot that well from the line, considering what they do from the field. Of course, they shoot a lot of layups, too.
Yeah, they do. Thomas, a 6'8 junior out of Raymore, Missouri. Probably played his ball at Ray Peck High School. Missed them both. So they're going to call a foul, and they said, call another violation on the Vikings. Luke Thomas has missed twice. He's missed the front end of a 1-and-1, but both times one of the Vikings has been in the lane too quickly. So Thomas back again for another 1-and-1.
He says, don't make me keep doing this.
And he got this one. You can only go to the well so many times. So he'll have one more here to try to make this a 2-point game.
3:19 to go, first half.
6'8 junior bends at the knees. Shots in the air. Got banked this one off the board. So it counts, I guess. Yeah. So the Viking lead is 2 with 3:16 left in the half.
Tough when you bank a free throw.
Yeah, that takes some talent. Now right wing to Thompson. Thompson guarded by Lanker, goes hard to the baseline. Now Brody spins, comes back the other way. Reverse layup with a left hand. Where did that come from? Left hand layup by Brody Thompson. Now Jim Thomas gets a foul in the backcourt. Jim thought he had a clean pick, but the referee said, no, you got part of the arm. So
that's his second.
It'll be a second foul on Jim, and that's going to put Rustin Dowd on the line for a 1-1 with 2:59 left in the half.
How about Brody Thompson through the lane, slips it up high off the glass.
Changed directions twice, went down the baseline, flipped it up under the basket with a left hand. What a great move by Brody that time. That brought the crowd to its feet, too. Dowd at the line. First shot, got it. So Rustin Dowd's knocked down 3 free throws in a row. He's got 7 points in the game. It's a 3-point game. He'll try to make it a 2-point game with his second charity toss. Dowd's got them both. Rustin Dowd, again, he was a player of the year, as Ken said several times in the conference. He's a senior out of Olathe. I'm glad he's a senior.
Yeah,
he enjoyed watching him play, but I've seen enough of him.
Boy, he's a good one.
Now Hayes pulls up. Kendall's jump shot misses. Battle for the loose ball and a nice save by Dowd. Long lead pass ahead.
That's Nick
Launis, is that how you pronounce it? Launis. Nick Launis just into the game, and he feeds Jacob French driving down the lane, and French is fouled, so he's going to go to the line for 2 shots with 2:36 left, a chance to tie this thing up.
Kendall Hayes picks up the foul, his first. That's the 10th team foul, 2:36 left. Yeah, Launis, that's the first time we've seen him in the ball game. He is out of Olathe, young man, 6'5" sophomore.
Jacob French, a senior out of Overland Park, Kansas, misses the first one, pinballs it out. So he's 0 for 2 from the line, and boy, all of a sudden, except for Rustin Dowd, Mid-America having some trouble from the free throw line. French will have one more. It's a 2-point Viking lead. For the Vikings, it's Brody Thompson, Jim Thomas, Jordan Epps, Lawrence Brown, and Kendall Hayes on the floor. Now Stander checks in. Brody Thompson takes a seat. Boy, that shot Brody hit, that left-hand layup, that might be one of the highlight shots of the year so far.
That was a beauty.
French, the left-hander. He'll have one more. He missed the first one. First one pinballed out on him. He'll try it one more time. Shots in the air, got the second one. So French converts 1 out of 2. He's got 7 points in the game. We got a 1-point game with 2.5 minutes left in the half. Epps brings it across, picked up by Collar, deep in the left wing to Stander. Now low block to Lawrence Brown. Back to Kendall Hayes. He pulls up for the left-hand jumper, missed it, but he's fouled. So that's going to put Kendall Hayes on the line. Again, if you just tuned in, this is Kendall's second game. He's a 6'6" junior out of Houston, Texas. Really gave the Vikings a big lift out at Central Methodist on Thursday night. And he'll go to the line for a couple here.
Foul was on French.
Kendall's first trip to the line, first free throws in the air, got it. He'll have one more.
Vikings just 65% from the line, but doing pretty well, 5 for 5 right now. 65% on the year.
Now Diatta checks back in. Lawrence Brown takes a seat. Second shot by Kendall. This one misses. No, it goes in. I thought he was going to miss that. Bounce way up in the air and then came back down in. So this might be the Vikings' day. Who knows? Now ahead to Dowd. Pressure by the Vikings, and now they say Kendall Hayes hooks Dowd with one of his knees, I believe. So that's going to be Kendall's second foul. That's going to put Dowd in the Vikings. That's their 10th team foul, so Dowd will be at the line for a couple here.
Here is surprising. Coming into this game, this really shocked me. Dowd is only 38 of 67, only 57% from the line coming in this game.
Boy, he's a guy. You think
that.
he's money in the bank when he goes to the stripe. He's 5 for 5 today.
5 today and looking good.
Yep, he'll have one more. He can make this a 1-point game with 2:16 left in the first half. 40-38, Vikings have led most of the half. Very similar to the women's game.
Yeah.
The Missouri Valley women led throughout most of the half, and a big second half by MidAm, and they came away with a double-digit win.
Lucas Weigel checks back in, the 6'7" senior.
Dowd will have one more. Bends at the knees. The senior's shots in the air got them both. So it's a 1-point Viking lead as we near the 2-minute mark.
He's not missing them today. No 57%
no,
shooter today.
He's on fire today. Head of the key, Lawrence Brown. Lawrence with 14 points. Ball fakes. Gives it back outside to Jim Thomas. Thomas left-hand dribble. Now switches to the right. Gives it off to DeLiska. Now Epps. They try to clear some space for Epps out around the head of the key. Back on the right wing. DeLiska bangs inside it. Lionel DeLiska knocks Lucas Weigel to the floor and lays it in.
Put it off the glass.
A couple of physical players right there, and that time DeLiska gets the best of it. Vikes back up by 3. We're down under 2 minutes now here in the first half. The Mid-America Pioneers, one of the conference leaders, 13-5 on the season, and the Vikings going toe-to-toe with them here this afternoon in the Burns Athletic Complex, Grover C. Redford Gymnasium. As Vikes, after that impressive win over Central Methodist Thursday night, trying to take up where they left off then. Now MidAm gets it inside. Good ball movement as Collard drives inside. They hit Weigel underneath, and he turned and found Collard flashing down the right side. Good ball movement by MidAm, and that's going to be a foul. It's going to come up on Lionel DeLiska, and that will be Lionel's second.
And we're over the 10 foul limit, but that was a shooting foul anyway, so
yeah.
Collard to go to the line.
Good ball movement by Mid-America that time. Collard's first shot good. So he once again will try to bring MidAm within one with 1:17 left in the half. Collard hits them both. So he's got 4 points now. It's a 42-41 Viking lead. David Clark back into the Mid-America lineup.
Clark, 6'5", junior. 1:17 to go.
Vikings keep answering the bell. They've led most all of the first half. They lead by one right now as Coach Chad Lance wants them to set a particular play. They're kind of spread out right now. Head of the key to Epps. Now he gives it deep on the right wing in front of the MidAm bench to Standers. Standers' baseline jumper partially blocked. And I think that was Launis who got a hand on that. Now head to Dowd. MidAm can take the lead with a bucket here. Inside to Launis, spins inside and he walked.
Oh yeah, he was out of control, got the pass kind of up on his shoulder, lowered that left shoulder, and he was heading into the lane, and as he did, he walked with it.
You know, you want to go as hard as you can, but there's a certain speed where you lose control, and that time Nate Launis, he was hustling, playing very hard, but just a little bit out of control, couldn't get control of the ball, and that's a turnover. So.
And I think on the other side, probably not the best shot that Stander's taken all afternoon, but we get it right back.
Under a minute to play, Vikings still up by one. Law Brown down on the baseline, into the paint, ball fake, back outside Stander. Now Epps backs it out between the two circles. 16 on the shot clock, so about a 16-second differential. There's a long three by Epps. This one goes off the left side. Kevin Stander comes out of nowhere to get an offensive rebound, and now the Vikes can run it all the way down. Shot clock's turned off. Great offensive rebound.
Nobody put a body on him. He came all the way across the lane to get that one.
So it looks like Vikes will run it down to that last shot. We're down to 10 seconds. Missouri Valley up by one. Epps, head of the key, reverse dribble, three in the air. This one lips off, no good. And now there's a foul underneath, and I'm afraid that's going to be, I don't know if that's on one of the, I think there's maybe on Lawrence Brown. Yeah, Lawrence Brown picks up a foul with 2.4 seconds to go. It was Lawrence just going for the offensive rebound there, and that's his second foul. So that's going to put one of the Pioneers, that's going to put Rustin Dowd on the line with 2.4 seconds left here in the first half. And boy, nice, Jordan Epps, that shot did not miss that much. Kind of pinballed around, and then Lawrence Brown over the back trying to get the offensive rebound. So
Dowd back at the line, and Joe going into this game and the physical nature and the way they work around the basket. And let's see, Dowd hits the first one. On the year, going into this game, MNU has shot 100 more free throws than their opponents, 462 to 362.
Yeah, they've done it today. They've shot a bunch this afternoon. Dowd's second free throw. Boy, he's been a perfect first half from the line, and with 2.4 seconds, MidAm back up by one. At the buzzer, Stander, shot won't go, and it's a very entertaining, very exciting first half as Mid-America gets two free throws from Rustin Dowd in the final 2 seconds to take a 1-point 43-42 lead, but the Vikings played very well that first half.
All right, so 43-42, MidAm with a lead. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go over the scoring of this game, and we also have the scores from earlier this afternoon. We're coming back to the Burns Center in a moment.
Dowd kills it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Regina Benjamin, U.S. Surgeon General.